Hey, thanks again for rejoining us on the program. Right now, we'll take you to Zamfara State, where Mustafa Jafar Okara, the Senior Special Assistant on Broadcast Media, is joining us live on the show this morning against the background of some of the insecurity issues that has bedeviled that state, particularly the evasive, notorious bandit Bello Turji, who has continued to wreak havoc in that state. But we hear now that security agents, particularly the army, is really closing in on him. Mustafa, thank you for joining us on the show this lovely Monday morning. Why is Turji still very evasive in terms of being captured? What is the state of affairs as relates to banditry in Zamfara State, and how is the state government responding to these challenges?
All right. Thank you very much. Indeed, the one cannot appreciate the level of security situation in Zamfara as at now till when you reflect back on what exactly happening, prior to the, coming of Governor Dr. Dauda Lawal. In 2023, the precarious security situation in Zamfara was very tense in the sense that the previous administration, allowed things to fall apart anyhow, and they have, that sort of romance with the bandit. They also have a negotiation with the bandit. So many people, innocent people, are being killed, and then no one can say anything. But when the advent of Governor Dr. Dauda Lawal, he categorically stated during his campaign, electioneering campaign, that he will not negotiate with bandits. Neither did he have anything to do with them. The only thing he knows with bandits is for them to surrender, or they will face the firepower, and that is what is happening. He empowered the locals to defend themselves. Previously, if there is any incident of killing of any bandit, if it is a market day, then that market will be closed indefinitely for maybe 6-7 months. Or if it is in the village, then the district head or ward head, will be dethroned and what have you. Governor Dr. Dauda Lawal created the community protection guards, and then he allowed the locals to defend themselves, pari passu with the empowering and supporting the security personnel that is waging war against the banditry in Zamfara. So that is how Governor Dr. Dauda Lawal came into being, and with his 6 uncommon smart rescue mission agenda to the state, with the security topping the list of the 6-point agenda. So in the last 1 year and a half, I can say the security has tremendously improved in villages and towns. Before, there are so many roads that are closed, that are becoming road closed. But Alhamdulillah, all the roads linking one local government to the other, one state to the other. In particularly, we have Zamfara. It's a border between Niger and Zamfara here. Also in Jibia, Katsina State, we have border there. So all those routes were closed before, but I'm telling you that things are becoming, greatly improved under Governor Dr. Dauda Lawal. On the issue of Turji, Notorious Bandit Turji, Governor Dr. Dauda Lawal had in no way has any romance or relationship with the Turji, unlike in the past when bandits are being summoned to government house, have one form of romance, and even to a certain extent, there are so many allegations that even the ransom is being moved to government house for the bandits to pay it there when they have their captives. So what Governor Dr. Dauda Lawal did, he empowered the locals, and at the same time gave all the support to the security agencies. Prior to his administration, even if they have a flat tire, the previous administration could not afford to give them a penny. to repair those things. But Governor Dr. Dauda Lawal is giving them all the necessary support financially, morally, and whatsoever for them to pursue the bandit.
Just a
And that has
moment.
yielded positive results. So many
We hear
markets are
this
being
seeming
opened now.
war of words between Zamfara state government and the Nigerian army, so to speak, following the recent attacks in which some bandits were killed, while the FO or the Nigerian army is saying they were bandits, the state government is saying they were vigilantes. I mean, how did we get to that point of that seeming breakdown of communication?
You see, if you are talking of the recent incident in Zurimi Amaradu local government, the Shia border, Zurimi Amaradu local government, we commend the security agencies in working in Zamfara state, particularly the air component of Operation Fansayama, that are forthcoming anytime if there is any, upside of the insurgency in that locality. You see, what really happened was a little bit mixed up. Initially, the air components were informed, and then they came handy, and then they were successful in repelling the bandits. An hour later, again, the bandits regrouped, and then they wanted to attack another village. And then in that case, they were also informed. So incidentally, when they came, instead of for them to identify, yes, these were the bandits, then there are some locals carrying weapons, wanted to protect their integrity, their territory. Then the air component strike on them, thinking that they were bandit also. So it's a mix of there. There wasn't any, I say, contradiction over this issue. Is just an unfortunate issue that used to happen, reoccurrence. Recently, it happened in Silami, local government area of Sokoto State, where, air component of Operation Pasayama mistakenly get into a village. And then, all these sort of things, we know it used to happen. While Governor Dr. Dodadal and his administration commensurate with the victims of the 2 days attack. The governor also seriously commend the security forces, particularly the air component of Operation Pansanyama, that always come, at the time of their needs. So in Zamfara here, we don't have much contradiction regarding the operation of security, particularly the air force on their intervention of security problem in Zamfara.
All right, Mr. Mohammed, quite some very glad news you've shared with us, especially considering the fact that you said security situations have returned to normalcy in that state. And of course, the governor is also giving support to the security team to be able to step up their game. And you have also said that there is no sort of bromance between the governor and this dangerous kingpin called Turji. But is there something that we do not know, especially with regards to the fact that the hideout where these dangerous individuals have been dislodged, and yet we've not been able to see them bring him to justice? Is there something you're trying to tell us that we do not know?
You see, that is what is this war is. That is why it is being called insurgency. It's not a conventional war that you know your enemy where exactly he is. These people will strike in this morning. In the evening, you will see them in Shinkafi. Next morning, you will see them in Marad. And the following day, you will see them in Gustau or Safe or even Maru local government. So that is why it is being insurgent. They are not in a place. Therefore, when they strike, they will hide, then they will reappear to another place. But I'm telling you, the government is, waging war against this banditry and is succeeding seriously. Because as at the time of discussing this issue with you, more than 50 or 60 of these notorious kingpins were being eliminated in one form of operation to the other. Uh, you see, you could recall vividly of the notorious Halil Sububu, who was killed alongside with over 40 or 50 of his men that wanted to, lodge onslaught or mayhem on the innocent people around Anka local government area of the state. Sani Black was also a notorious bandit that was also completely eliminated in Dansado area of Maru local government area. So many, Kachallas, so many people of, of those magnitude were being eliminated. We were working on credible intelligence, and all these successes, I'm telling you, is attributable to uh, the, the efforts of the state government on allowing the locals, on empowering the locals, on giving them, the mandate for them to defend themselves. So at times, all these successes is being, transmitted to the security agencies, then they will strike, and then they succeeded in eliminating so many of them. Because
All
we
right.
don't have any romance, we don't have any relationship with them. So that is why the locals in every sector are giving the necessary support for the security agencies for them to strike.
Okay, so you are making excuses somewhat that they tend to be on the move, so you may hardly be able to mark them, inch by inch as regards where they are at a point in time. But of course, word on the street is that we live in a jungle-like situation where these individuals, they feel the pulse of the society. They go to the same market, they go to the same hospitals, they have access to war weapons that they use. How could it be that a violent criminal residing in Nigeria, making calls, and yet you say these locations cannot be identified? Also putting it side by side with the information that a certain powerful lawmaker has been fingered to be behind insurgency, especially in the north. So how could it be that up to this time, the face of this individual has not been unmasked?
You see, better if this your question will be channeled to the security agencies, who have the absolute control, who have the credible intelligence, who also use this intelligence information gathering system, to strike. If there is any, deficiency for them to act as at when due, then of course the lacuna is within the circle of the security agencies. But as of the state government, we are doing all what is possible to assist the security, to assist the locals to wage this war against the bandits. But more importantly, I want to add here is people like Turji or what have you, they don't normally come to town. They don't normally, visit markets maybe the way you expect or the way you assume. They always act by proxy. At times, they have their own informant that normally come, to disguise as normal human beings to come to the market to do this. But even at that, some people used to identify them and they will track them. At times, they will be killed or arrested and handed over to the security agency. But people like Turji and all those that you can think are hardened criminals, those that are, that hardened bandits, they hardly come and interact with the people and, get away with it. There is no way that can happen because Governor Dr. Lawal has empowered the locals. He has given them all the mandate to do what they're supposed to do and protect their integrity and to protect their community. So people are now becoming much more aware of what they're supposed to do, and then and they are on it, day by day. They don't relent at all. So the remarkable successes and achievements on the security situation, I told you, is owing to how the governor, Dr. Lawal, allows bandits, allow locals to defend and protect their locality.
All right, Jafaro, let's quickly take you on this point that in spite of these impacts made, these successes recorded by the Governor Lawal-led administration in the state, Bello Turji, for example, is alleged to have threatened to continue to carry out his dastardly act, especially because one of his lieutenants who was arrested in an army attack against the enclave is still being kept in captivity, and he's insisting unless and until the man is released, he will continue to carry out his dastardly acts in both Zamfara and Sokoto State. Is this true in any way?
Well, but Owarji is the, close ally to Bello Turji and is within the, confine of the security agencies presently. There is no way Owarji will be released, owing to this senseless and useless threat by Bello Turji. And as at yesterday, security agencies are on Bello Turji seriously. They dismantled all these camps in Fakai. Fakai is, a suburb, a village in Shinkafi local government area of the state where Bello Turji used to, reside. But security agencies are, up and doing to see that they dismantle those areas. And then I believe by now, Bello Turji, is living, either inside the holes or is hiding somewhere. But he's not having that free will to come out and, start, airing rubbish. And, all this sort of threat and intimidation by Bello Turji is not new to us. There was one community, Moriki, that called Moriki, in Zulmi local government area. Turji also, gave that threat that if they fail to pay the ransom of about 30 million naira for the cattle, the security wrestle from him, then he will descend heavily on Moriki town. But up till now, nothing happens to Moriki. People are roaming, people are going with their normal activities. All these things, security agencies are trying, to the best of my knowledge, that there is no day, no time, no second, no hour in Zamfara that you will not see security agencies, the military, the DSS, the civil defense, the MOPOL, or what have you, on their duty post, manning checkpoint, working on credible intelligence, acting swiftly, and they are succeeding, in eliminating bandits and banditry activities in Zamfara. So we say kudos to them, and then we highly salute the effort of Governor Dr. Dauda Lawal for, remaining steadfast in seeing that Zamfara remains secure and without having, any romance or anything that has to do with bandit or banditry in Zamfara.
Okay, let's quickly talk about the efforts being made by Governor Lawal-led administration in terms of taming this menace of banditry in Zamfara State. It's interesting to know that effort is being made at the state level and even at the federal government level in terms of providing adequate security cover. But what is most concerning is the fact that Sububu was killed and several other bandit leaders have been killed. Bello Turji has been very evasive. But the biggest concern is that there are several of them. What is really the situation in Zamfara State that has brought about this flourishing of banditry and all of that? And how do you think this can be tamed? Because whether you like it or not, there are several Turji, Bello Turji, in one way or the other, just looking for the opportunity to become very prominent.
You see, this precarious situation of insecurity in Zamfara is about more than a decade, my brother. So, and then it was treated with levity by the previous administrations. There wasn't any time when seriousness of combating the issue of bandit becomes. Hello, are you with me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead loud and clear. Can hear you loud and
Yeah,
clear.
what
Go
I'm
ahead.
saying, there wasn't any time when government was so much serious about the issue of fighting bandit and banditry than this administration of Governor Dr. Daud Lawal. So therefore, it has been a precarious situation. The bandits, become so powerful that they are everywhere. Initially, they started in Dan Sadau district of Maru local government, a southern Maru local government of the state, but it has spread cut across all the 14 local government areas of the state. So they have, that power, they have that privilege by then, to perpetrate power, to spread their tentacles all over the state because there wasn't any political will to fight them. Alhamdulillah, the political will is now under Governor Dr. Dauda Lawal, and that is why you'll be hearing these people are being killed, these bandits are being, arrested, these ones are being eliminated. All these things is happening under the present administration of Governor Dr. Dauda Lawal. Else, previously it wasn't, a success story like this. So that is why you are seeing them being eliminated, being killed, because had it been the previous administration did at least 50% of what Governor Dr. Dauda Lawal is doing, by now, of course, the issue of banditry will become a history in Zamfara.
Okay, so when you talk about previous administration treating the issue with levity, what exactly do you mean? Do they have an ideology? Do they have a concern that wasn't looked into? What exactly went wrong? Was there a communication gap between the previous administration that couldn't look into those issues critically? Because we know Boko Haram, as it were, have an ideology. They tend to be kicking against Western education. So for that reason, anyone who do not align with those ideology tend to be, at loggerheads with them. So what exactly did the previous administration not do that the current administration is doing better? Be very precise, please.
During Abdulaziz Yari's administration, for over 6 years, people are being killed. There was that insecurity in every part of the state, but no one can come out openly to tell the government that, yes, there is fire on the mountain. Something tangible must be done to combat this insecurity. If you say that, the then administration of Abdulaziz Yari will slug it out with you. So the then administration didn't even consider Zamfara as a security threat under the then Buhari Daji, who, spread all his tentacles along the southern Maru and then down to Safe, come down to southern Gusau. All these things before the thing escalates, to become an issue in Zamfara. So it was the last 2 years of his administration that he decided at least to start doing something to fight the issue of banditry. So you have seen how, that non-political will has led into the killings of innocent people in Zamfara. And then the advent of Governor Bello Matawale in his last 4 years, he was in good romance with the bandit. He said he's a Fulani by tribe and he wouldn't want the Fulanis to be killed. Therefore, he want to negotiate, with the bandits, let the bandits, come into terms with the government of the day during his reign so that there will be no this senseless killing, no this banditry, no, taking people for ransom and what have you. That has led also to killing of innocent houses, communities in Zamfara state. But this time around, what differ Governor Dr. Dodalo and all of them is that he wants to fight head on the issue of banditry, no romance, no relationship, no negotiation, nothing with the bandit. So unless this thing is being tackled head on, the way Governor Dr. Dauda Lawal is doing now, of course, the issue of banditry will never come to an end in Zamfara.
Okay. Jafaro, you talked eloquently about the fact that there's no romance between Governor Dauda Lawal and the bandit. That's why we are seeing this result. But there is those who feel that there seems to be a broken relationship between the governor and these so-called bandits as a result of disputes over mining activities in Zamfara state, particularly gold mining. What's the myth about this?
Voice, I'm not hearing you. Another voice is coming up, is coming down. Please, let's have one voice. Okay, I'm not hearing you. Can you come again?
I'm sure you can hear me better now. The question that I asked is, what's your response to the feeling in some quarters that what we are seeing today is because of a broken relationship between Governor Dauda Lawal and the bandits as it relates to mining activities, especially gold mining activities in Zamfara state? How true is that?
You see, the mining activities to a certain extent has a negative impact on the issue of insecurity in Zamfara. But even at that, you have seen recently that the federal government under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has lifted the ban on mining in Zamfara. What that signifies is that there is remarkable success in terms of security situation that led into the lifting of this ban of mining activity in Zamfara. That's number one. Number two, even if there is mining or no mining, farming and rearing of animals, is the bond that link farmers and then Fulanis in Zamfara. And that is the basis of having the problem at the initial stage. But what I'm telling you, Alhamdulillah, with the lifting of the ban on mining in Zamfara, we expect much more security, to come to Zamfara, to safeguard the companies that will come in and invest in mining activities in Zamfara. It's an additional, advantage to the people and the government of Zamfara in terms of securing the state. Because there is no way investors will come when there is this issue of insecurity. So much more security will be deployed to Zamfara to protect the companies and the interest investment of the foreign nationals that will come to Zamfara. We say kudos to federal government for lifting the ban, on mining in Zamfara state, for instance. And then the second aspect of your question is regarding, the relationship with the previous administration and the bandit, and then what Governor Dr. Dauda Lawal is doing now to curtail the issue of insecurity. He remained steadfast, and then his policy remained, you know, uh, irrevocable regarding the issue of insecurity in Zamfara, and that has led into this tremendous success. So many markets are open, so many roads are open. People can now move freely. All this, there are, two issues. There is conventional and non-conventional. The non-conventional issue is what Governor Dr. Doda Lawal is doing. The conventional one is what the security agencies is doing.
All right. I want to thank you, Mustafa Jafaro Kara, the Senior Special Assistant to Zamfara State Governor on broadcast media. Thank you so much for your time with us. We hope that some other time we can always continue to avail us some of these insights on how the war on insecurity in Zamfara State is going, perhaps when Bello Turji is finally captured. Thank you so much for your time.
We hope so. We hope so. Thank you very much, ITV, for having me too.